It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Camden Town Brewery and it's a can of their off-menu IPA coming in at 5.8% ABV in a 330 milliliter can. There's a look at the can. Without further ado, let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. Little bit of smoke on the can opening. Beer in the glass. So we got a 2-finger white head, good levels of carbonation, slightly hazy looking beer. I'd say it's micro filtered. You can see small amounts of sediment. It's like micro sediment floating around in that glass. But it's a lovely looking IPA. If you're new to beer, the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that it's hazy and looking like this. I've had a lot of comments recently about lots of sediment in the new range of beers that have been launched into Morrison's and Tesco, and these beers have been brewed to have sediment in there. They're not meant to be kind of bright clear beers. It's the way beer really should be, to have that haziness, to have that unfiltered goodness in. I worked with a brewer once on a collaboration and he told me basically, straight up, he said, I wouldn't want to polish a turd. And what he meant by that, he wasn't being disgusting, what he meant by that was the more you filter a beer, the more you clean up a beer, the more of the goodness, the more of the flavour you're dumping down the drain. And that's not what we want. We want flavour in our beer. We don't drink with our eyes, we drink with our mouth. So it doesn't matter if the beer is hazy. Aroma. Smells really good. Smells really, really good. Zesty. Tangerine, orange peel, dare I say it. A little bit of grapefruit, passion fruit. It smells good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Do you know what? That is a really, really lovely, lovely beer. I'm going to stone the crows that. I'm going to stone the crows that. What a really lovely, drinkable, refreshing beer. Passion fruit, mango flavours come through, citrus, kind of grapefruit, orange peel, fleshy blood orange flavours. There's a nice amount of bitterness just building now on the back of the palate. It is lovely. It is lovely. There's a little bit of sweetness to begin with, but that bitterness on the back, yeah, it's lovely. It's a lovely balance to the beer. The reason why I'm so impressed with this beer is that, and the reason why I'm so impressed with Camden Town Brewery as a whole, is that they were bought out by a massive company. Ooh, probably, I don't know, 5 years ago now, maybe even more than that. One of the big boys got hold of them. I don't know if it was InBev or Miller, Molson Co. One of the big international brewers bought Camden Town Brewery. And there was a lot of people thinking, this is the end of Camden. This is the end. It's all going to get diluted down. It's all going to be made into kind of just watered down IPA. It's not going to be good anymore. The Camden Hell's Lager, which they're famous for, is not going to be the same beer. Fair play to whatever great big brewery have bought Camden Town. They've left it alone. And not only have they left it alone, they seem to have improved it. I don't remember an IPA from Camden Town. They were more of a... They produced a lot of lager years ago. White IPAs. They're Hell's Lager. And they were famous for producing really good lagers and kind of light ales. But I'm struggling. I'm scratching my head wondering, you know, in all the time that I've been drinking Camden Town beer, I can't remember drinking an IPA. And now I'm drinking one. It's fantastic. It really is fantastic. And this has got a lot to say for Camden Town Brewery and their owners who own them. Because let's talk about Beavertown down the road from Camden Town. Well, it's in the same city in London. May not be just down the road, but in the same city. They were bought out by Heineken, and the beer immediately changed. It immediately changed for the worse. Beavertown Brewing Company, or Beavertown Brewery's beers, were once kind of the jewel in the UK brewing scene's crown. On Instagram, whenever they released a beer, everybody was on the beer. Everybody was ordering this brand new Beavertown beer, and it was exceptional. It was exceptional beer. And the moment Heineken picked up this company, but Heineken have a habit of doing this. They have a habit of buying a company and watering it down. They've done it, of course, to John Smith's and Newcastle Brown Ale and all of these other kind of wonderful Tetneys, all these other wonderful breweries that we once had. Have been now turned into a bit of a nothingness. And the same can be said now. It's almost as if Beavertown are on their way. They're well on their way to becoming just another brand under what is Carlsberg or Heineken. One of the green companies. I always get them mixed up. But going back to Camden, this is fabulous. I don't mind saying that, and I've always said this. If a big brewery buys a smaller brewery, it's always slightly worrying. But if a big brewery buys a smaller company, then improves that smaller company, I don't mind at all. As long as I have good beer in my glass, I really don't mind. I have issue when these companies buy a really good brand like Beavertown and completely ruin it. So well done. I think it might be InBev or Miller Coors, or one of the big companies own these. It's incredibly drinkable. Nice carbonation. Passion fruit, mango, orange peel, fleshy blood orange. There's a good balance to the beer between the sweet malt to begin with and the bitter hops on the back end. Lovely little bit of bitterness on the back end from the hops. It just keeps giving. The flavour of the beer just keeps giving and giving and giving. I picked this up in Tesco. It's not a new beer for Tesco. I think it's been out between 6 months and 12 months. It's been out a while. But I picked it up and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So what did Camden say about this beer? Our ideal IPA wasn't on the menu, so we made it. Resisting piling up a variety of hops like topping on a burger, we held the pickles and did things our way. Sandwiching together light malts, clean Cali ale yeast and early harvest Simcoe hops. Just what the brewers ordered. Fantastic. So a single hop Simcoe IPA from Camden Town Brewery, and I think that's fantastic. That is one of... There's some fantastic beers to be had now in the supermarkets. There really are. You're 4 for 6. This'll fall under the 4 cans for 6 range in Tesco, and 4 cans of that for £6. I'd buy that all day long. All day long. Looks good, smells good, tastes wonderful. I like that enough to give it a 9 out of 10. So 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!